Well, yeah, moving on. Like you said, there's a rumor that the Nintendo NX is to return to cartridges. We know next to nothing about the Nintendo NX, but one thing we do know is that ROM firm Macronix will be providing memory products for the system. The firm has suffered losses in recent times, but they're confident. Are you all done?
I'm on the next page.
Are you done?
I'm finished.
They've suffered losses in recent times, but they're confident that their situation with Nintendo will boost the company's outlook significantly. This has led to speculation that the company will be utilizing their new ROM chips, which are similar to those used in the Nintendo 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
Macronix are Nintendo's longtime go-to partners for the mask ROM memory, the guys behind the 3DS's cartridges. Typically, this would be put down to the Nintendo 3DS cartridges, but the reality is that Macronix recently began testing on its newer line of 32nm ROM chips. The Nintendo 3DS uses 75nm with a max of 8GB storage, so these new cards won't be used for that purpose, unless the company is savvy to a big 3DS game that we're not aware of, or they're developing for Nintendo's next-gen handheld, we'd make a strong bet that it's all linked to the Nintendo NX.
Yep, we're getting cartridges back. You're gonna look on the store shelves, and there's gonna be cartridges, and they're gonna be cool looking. They're gonna be retro, and you're gonna have to blow into them to get them to work. And Nintendo's next marketing campaign is gonna be blowing is good. Yep.
Hashtag Kaz is right.
Was right. Will always be right.
Kaz was right.
No, I think I read an article, a very interesting article.
I can't argue with that.
Over on Google.
Good points.
I think it was written by Mr. Google himself.
Mr.
Yeah.
Is it Mr. Google?
Yeah, he's
I need to meet this Mr. Google.
Yeah. Well, you never will. But I'm pretty sure he wrote this article, or it may have been some sort of. I wonder actually if I still have it pulled up on my Safari, on my phone, because I'm pretty sure I read it in bed. Oh my god, sorry to be boring you, man. But no, I read this article though that was saying that the NX being cartridge based would be actually a good thing, because everyone's like, "Oh, bad idea! I can't believe I'm playing my Triforce Heroes on a cartridge, even though you already do." Because that's the thing, is that a cartridge isn't a cartridge anymore like we know it. It's not.
Right.
It's not that huge, big, bulky gray tray and box that has like a little like floppy disk sticking out of it and stuff. I mean, no, it's an SD card, an SD cartridge,
right?
An SD or a 3DS game cartridge. I tweeted out to someone that was complaining about it, that was saying, "Yo, this is such a terrible idea. Typical Nintendo to step backwards." And I was like, "Oh no," they said. Their exact quote was, "How am I going to install patches on a cartridge?" And I'm like, "The same way you do it on a 3DS cartridge." And they said, 3DSs aren't cartridges. I'm like, "What are they?" And they said, "They're game cards." And I'm like, "Isn't that the same thing, though?" And they're like, "You know what? That may be the same thing." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure
they are the same thing.
I'm pretty sure what we're looking at here is just the same way the Vita, the 3DS.
Oh yeah.
Every computer in the world, if you want to download almost anything nowadays, you get the SD card, you get the USB stick, you download on there. It's all licenses nowadays. And so basically what this is Nintendo somehow being absolutely brilliant by not using discs. Because there's the fear, I think we even expressed it, that they would be all digital moving forward.
Right.
Because eventually we're going to get to that, where every console is just all digital and stuff, and that's going to be sad because I love retail and physical stuff. But we're going to get to a point where to save money and stuff. I mean, imagine if they don't have to have an optical drive in there. They can save money. They said they're not going to sell the NX at a loss. And also, all the money that they're saving on not having an optical drive in each NX unit, even if they have to spend a little bit more on cartridges, that'll be nice. And also, this is where Zenoko comes in. I asked Zenoko, let me pull out my phone here and look up the exact stuff he said, because I don't want to misquote him, I don't want to misrepresent him and stuff. And Zine, if you're listening and you're like, "No, Kaz, stop! Don't say what I said!" Zine, it's too late!
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Time to regret all of you've said to Kaz.
I messaged Zine yesterday at 9:20 p.m.
Yeah.
So about morning for him, because he's over in Benghazi. Wait, where's... No, he's not.
He's in Germany somewhere.
He's in Germany somewhere.
Around Berlin.
Huh?
Around Berlin or something, I'm guessing.
I would believe so, yeah.
Because they won that award in Berlin, Germany, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, maybe they flew there.
Yeah, that's true.
I said, hey, Zine, Nintendo is rumored to have switched the cartridges for the NX. Would that be more difficult to port to, or for designers would developing remain virtually the same? If you don't know, that's fine. Just thought we'd ask for Koppai's recording tomorrow. Zine said, quote, it doesn't really matter for the designer if it's a DVD or a cartridge. In most of the cases, the publisher takes care of the retail version of a game. Yada, 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 yada. He goes on to say, I guess it could be, or I guess it'll be more expensive to produce a cartridge retail game than a DVD, though. But don't quote me on that. But don't worry, he does go on to say I can't quote him on that. So that's why I said that. But he had a smiley face in there. And then he says, the only restriction, only in all caps, for a designer would be the question of file size. The game file has to fit on the medium, and if it doesn't, the game has to be optimized, which results in quality loss, and once again, another reason for the eShop. It's just, you have your game, the designer knows it's going to be the same on the thing. And I said, very interesting. Thanks for your thoughts. We won't quote you on the price of the cartridge being compared to a DVD, but could we share your thoughts on the file size and how the porting would be in charge of the publisher? Could help fuel our discussion, add some credibility to it. By the way, people are loving your interview. Our most popular snippet we've had. And he said, hey, sure, I'm happy to help. You can quote me. I just meant I'm not sure. Big smiley face. I'm glad to hear the podcast is popular. That's really nice. Not sure about the production price, that is. The rest, I'm pretty sure, winky face. And I said, okay, we'll make sure to let the audience know what you're saying. Hopefully the rise of views will continue to happen. Thanks again. Your insight is always awesome. And he says, you can ask me anytime. Zinoko, our best friend, over on Good Wolf Studio. Pick up code 7. Pick up code 7 on cartridge for the NX. Because he's going to be porting that, and he's going to be getting a publisher to make it physical release. Yeah. All of that confirmed or not confirmed here by Koppai Podcast.
I don't know if they're the same size, but it'd be so cool if they could plug in your 3DS games into the NX. And think about how much that would
open up. I did not think of that.
It would open up so much, because then they could just be like, your whole, like, Sun and Moon, that's on the NX now. And it'd be like,
oh my gosh! I didn't even think of that.
Crying, I'd be like, oh.
Well, I bet it would be. I think it'd be
so amazing.
I bet it would be something maybe similar to the lines of like the original DS and having like you could put your GBA games in there, but you can also put your DS games in there. Like maybe it has like 2 cartridge ports. I mean, not too. I mean, they can fit so much into like. The cartridge does not take up that much space at all in a system. Like when you look at the size, like what the DS is.
Yeah.
And so definitely could be such a small little device, and could probably a lot for both of those.
I would say like my only like devil's advocate there is that knowing Nintendo, what they probably just do is have it like these are NX cards. Like you just can't read them. Like they just don't work.
I don't know. I think that's a brilliant idea, and I think that's
it would be a brilliant idea. Yeah, it would be.
And
like,
that would make sense.
My reaction would be
that would make sense for why they're supporting the 3DS way more in 2016.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a brilliant theory. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Hashtag Zach was right.
I'm gonna take credit for it. But I think another big perk here, moving on before we get out of the story, is that we go back to the whole Call of Duty thing. And how Call of Duty is more than likely being ported to the NX. Mm-hmm. Confirmed here first on Koppai Podcast, thanks to our exclusive scoop in journalism ethics. I think cartridges load faster. They do.
Yes.
They are much more convenient to carry, move around, yada, yada.
Yeah, they're almost getting, the DVDs and stuff are almost getting to be outdated, like, technology, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, for watching a movie where you just play a file, one, like, little quick file.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot easier. But
I mean,
you have
texture pop-ins and stuff with discs. You have load times. They can get scratched. They can get damaged.
Nowadays, they're installing so much just on the console itself. Like, when you plug in a game, you're, like, half just installing the game to your console.
Yeah, the disc is basically just a license and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, to switch to cartridge base, if you're at the store and... unless you care about maybe, like, trophies or you care about, like, the respective network or achievements and stuff, if it's simply down to gameplay with you... and you have all the consoles, you'd get Call of Duty on NX because you get the cartridge, it'll be faster load times, you'll be physical still, so you could sell it back later, so that's one up on digital. I mean, the NX medium would be the ideal way to play games, and that would immediately shift from Wii U being like the lesser place to play a third-party game to being the best place. And then you add in the fact that, like what Zine was saying, that it wouldn't be too much of a change for designers, because that was the problem, like back in the day, was we have to port our game to the N64, we have to port it to this. That sucks because we have to do all this whole thing of like getting it on. I mean, but nowadays, it's almost as simple, I would think, as here's the game file. It's optimized and ready for the NX. Put it onto the cartridge, you know. It's almost as if it's putting it on a USB stick. And so it wouldn't be too much of a problem for designers, for publishers. And so I think that could be the ideal future for Nintendo. I'm hoping it's right, and we're also hoping that you can play your 3DS games on the NX. And it also, once again, leads credence to the fact that it's going to be a portable device also, if they're going cartridge-based. Imagine trying to switch discs all the time when you're on the road.
Yeah.
No.
And just the skips, like, you're not going to put, even if it was like, I guess they tried with like the PSP and stuff, like the little discs that were kind of protected in there because it was portable. But even then, like, I think there's a lot of like potential for skips and stuff. It's not a good medium for portable.
That was
like,
weird.
Everybody doing portable, you want to stick to the whole 3DS, like Vita too, like where it's just like a really little thing. Even though the thing with Vita is like those are so small, I get scared because they're so tiny. I like that the 3DS. There's a little bit of like
a little bit of girth to them.
Yeah, with a girth. Yeah.
I was also gonna say before we end out this is that what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. This happened again. This happened last week.
Moving on.